Speaking of transportation, there are lots of buzz about the self-driving cars. How long do you think it's going to take for self-driving cars to become mainstream in U.S., in China, and other parts of the world?
Sure. First of all, let me preface this by just saying that with something where there's an enormous industrial base like cars, anything that happens en masse is going to take time. So there's about 2 billion cars and trucks on the road. Global capacity is production capacity is about 100 million cars and trucks a year. So let's say tomorrow we had self-driving cars that work perfectly. It would still take a long time to switch out the massive industrial base. It would take 20 years if there were the same number of cars and trucks. There's probably some smaller number of cars and trucks when things are autonomous, but it still will still take a while. So I think, but to answer the question, say where do I think the first production self-driving car will exist that people can buy? It's probably, well, in terms of the technology working, I think we're not more than 5 years away from having the cars that are way safer than humans.
Yeah, but for mainstream adoption, there needs to be laws and government support.
Sure. That's why I said from a technology standpoint.
Right.
So, from the point at which you have the technology working, then you have to convince the regulators that it's truly safe. So you'd be effectively running a large fleet of cars in shadow mode, where there's still human driving, and you evaluate what the narrow AI on the car was doing compared to the human actions, and then you'd be able to statistically prove that the narrow AI on the car would have been safer than the person. And it's going to take at least 2 or 3 years. So from the point at which it actually works, I would expect that there'd be some delay in the regulatory approval of at least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I might point out to that is that it won't be monolithic. That is, companies like Microsoft keep coming in all the time saying we're going to do the most advanced city in the world. Well, now it's clear if you want to design a city that assumes that drones are allowed to deliver things and come up with ways of sort of onboard client-side collision avoidance, and you want to assume you need no parking garages because these self-driving cars are around, we should have a few dozen jurisdictions in the world to decide to get out there in front, get the benefits and the challenges of that, just so we get hundreds of millions of hours of this software seeing the ball come into the street and all that things. And pioneers there's some downside with it. But so that's why it's good we don't have one government. Even in China, they should pick some places and have super liberal rules. So I think we're a few years away from having, say, a dozen jurisdictions say, let's just go for it and design this in. And then in a decade, we'll see the benefits as well as a few of the problems.
So besides the government, is there any other factors or type of people who need to be prepared about this, driverless cars? What kind of preparation for people like us need to have?
Well, the benefits are mainly when you design a city from scratch, assuming that you get this thing.
We don't have that kind of luxury in most cases.
That's right.
Running mega cities, and how can we smoothly transition to that kind of society?
You can have a regulatory environment where things like Uber are allowed to come in. Uber's a form of a driverless car. It's just using sort of on-demand human labor to efficiently provide that service. And so you think about Uber for everything, the way we use capital equipment, and it's pretty exciting that the very market mechanism of when resources should be used in a different way was very inefficient until we had this digital template. And now we're seeing that the matching of I want to use an asset, I have an asset, has been amped up. That matching function is way less friction now than ever before. So it's changing a whole ton of things about capital goods and labor usage.
So Elon, do you see Uber as a partner or competitor? Or what's going to happen when nobody needs to drive the car?
I think that, neither a partner or a competitor. I mean, we're just making cars. So like Uber can buy the cars, other people can buy the cars right there. And they'll gradually get more autonomous. But again, I do want to emphasize that the point I made about the industrial-based switchover means that this is not going to be an overnight transition. It's literally impossible for transition. Because 2 billion cars and trucks, 100 million new cars made maximum capacity per year. So we shouldn't be panicked. What are you going to do? All these people, like people will lose their jobs the moment a self-driving car arrives. It's like that's possible unless you want self-driving cars. They work for a while. But I mean, things will be autonomous. Who knows what will happen in that environment? Uber may prosper or they may not.
Yeah. Well, 1 hour is a very short time, but I think we covered a lot. We talked about history, we talked about future, and I think a lot of times history can tell us what the future will look like, and I sincerely hope that our generation can learn from the history and make contributions to the next few generations so that they can benefit from